Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Juggernaut, and this will be my first impressions slash preview video, as I'm a little bit into the game now, in terms of the progress and the story of Carrion. So, what is Carrion? Well, it is a pixel and what I would describe as retro graphics inverse horror game. So, essentially in Carrion, you play this biomass of mouths and tentacles, and yes, I do fully understand the problems of saying the word tentacles on a YouTube video, but it is what they are, or it is what it is, sorry. Where basically you do a series of puzzles, as contrary to what you might be seeing here, it seems, where essentially your objective is to eat humans, as demonstrated, and also solve a series of puzzles. So, for example, I'll show you a couple of examples of this later, but essentially, that's what it comes down to. And the puzzles are essentially get to here, pull this lever, so on and so forth, but they do get increasingly complex. Now, there is also another side to the game, and that is that you occasionally get to play as the humans. Though not the way you might think. So, I'd like to say a little bit about inverse horror games in general first, and then we'll get into other stuff. Ow. How rude. Come here. Okay, so you see the stuff at the top here, that's our health bar, basically, or that's our biomass bar, but effectively it works as a health bar. And obviously, the more you progress through the game, the more stuff you unlock, the bigger you get, and the more abilities you unlock. So, for example, I started off as just one tiny little blob, and then by eating humans, I've gotten to this size. And I've also gotten several abilities, one of which I shall attempt to demonstrate now. I think. See, these guys are tricky because they have force fields and shields and stuff like that, and also, you can't eat them. We'll talk about the enemy variety in a bit. You can kill them, but you can't eat them. How do we do this? I think through here would be best. So you can see the inverse horror nature of it all. And there we go. It cost me a bit of HP, but I got him. Not to worries, though. There is easy prey over here. And at this point, I mean, this is just cruel and unnecessary, but, you know. It's just, yes, this, yeah. I would lie if I said that this made me uncomfortable. It makes me feel like a badass, I'll be honest with you, but at the same time I understand that, yeah. Oh well. Moving on. So, essentially that's what the game is about, right? The TLDR of it. You also have these checkpoints where you spread biomass, and it's essentially I keep using the word essentially a bit too much. It's basically just a checkpoint. However, it's a little bit more than that as well, which I think is really cool. So the way they've done checkpoints is they've actually tied them to progress. So every time you save, not only do you get all your health back, but also what happens is usually you progress in some way. So that's either by breaking a door that you can get through, or opening a lever that unlocks, or switching a lever, or opening access to a lever that unlocks future progress, and stuff like that. So it's all sorts of things, right? Now, there is a little bit of backtracking in the game, which kind of makes it cool as well, but not too much. Nothing seems to overstay its welcome, which I really, really like, and I also really, really like how you get bigger and more badass as you progress. I was a little bit worried that when I got to, like, these 5 health bars, that would be it, because I filled them and I was like, alright, that's it, then I'm never getting bigger than this, because I'm starting to clutter up the screen. But no, the game's not afraid to, you know, give you twice that size, and possibly even more later. Now, I probably shouldn't start the video in a position where I'm a little bit stuck. but it is what it is. Uranium mines. No, I was here, I remember that very clearly. Right. So if you wonder what that was, if you press left shift, you can actually hear these things. Yeah. They call to you, as it were. Those are your checkpoints, basically. That's the only kind of map that you have in the game, is your sensors. And whilst it makes a lot of sense from a, you know, I want to say realism and lore perspective, but yeah, this is not kind of the place for that. But at the same time, you get what I'm saying. It's not really sensible that a biomass monster like this would have a map. At the same time, I kind of wish I did. Because it's really easy to get lost. There's loads of levels, and they often loop on each other, so yeah, sometimes, early on in the game it's not a problem, but a little bit later, like now, you tend to get a little bit lost, and you sort of lose track of where you're supposed to go. Now, did I go down here? I literally just went here, didn't I? Okay, I guess through here then? Seals breach 100%, biomass samples lost 100%, that's how much you found, not lost. Containment unit locked. Did I miss a containment unit, is that what you're trying to tell me? Quite possibly. I'm going to try and find the containment unit then, I suppose. Containment units are basically upgrades. You breach a containment unit, and inside it is some type of, I guess, bioweapon or something along those lines. And yeah, what that means is you can basically, there's stuff over there. What that means is you can basically use that to unlock new upgrades. Right, now, the graphics of the game might turn a few people off. It is, like I said, pixely and what I would describe as retro, but I think it serves the game really well. It allows you a lot of freedom of movement. It is a 2D game, but the way that you sort of fit and squeeze into stuff looks really satisfying. And just generally, the way you move around really, really quickly is satisfying. And I think it's very stylistic, and it works. I really, genuinely, I'm not the greatest fan of pixely graphics. I'd much prefer, not exactly photorealism, but I'm just not a fan of pixels, right? Like visible pixels like this. However, the game does it really, really well. It's stylish, it's cool. It gives me a little bit of a Spelunky vibe, I think. Not necessarily. There's other things too, but yeah, not in terms of the enemies or in terms of the monster, but like in terms of the level design. Maybe a little bit of that, maybe a little bit of, what was that game called? It's a roguelite. It's a post-World War III roguelite where there's like a bunch of radioactive stuff and there's guns in it as well, and I, for the life of me, can't remember the name. But hey, whatever, not entirely important right now. I'm trying to find my way to where I'm supposed to go. If you'll excuse me for a second. Alright, found where I need to go. We can resume the video. So, I was talking about inverse horror games in general. Recently there's been, well, I want to say a resurgence of them, but they never really were a thing back in the day. I can remember a handful of games where you got to play as the monster or as the zombie and stuff like that, and well, probably the best one ever was Stubbs the Zombie. It was humorous, but it was also a really good game. Other than that, there was a cancelled video game back in 2003, I think, where the idea was you would get to control, like, basically play as some sort of demon monster thing, and you would get to control the zombies as they battle out against police and military forces, and you know, you would overrun the city bit by bit. But it was a bit too much for the 2000s, right? Ooh. Amusing. Alright, we've got ourselves a new upgrade. Anyways. Yeah, so there was that, but also, let's see, did I ever go up here? I think so. But also there was a few games recently where you got to play as I can't open this, can I? No, I can't. Okay. So I'm guessing somewhere over here is the way to open that particular area. Huh. I appear to find myself a little bit lost once again. I mean, let's just lead me back to exactly where I was, and I can't go through there. Okay. There was a resurgence of them, in a way, with multiplayer horror games, stuff like Friday the 13th, was it? And stuff like that, but those were multiplayer, and they really, I mean, at times they would be horror games, but you introduce multiplayer into a horror game, and personally, it's not something that appeals to me, and I don't think I'm the only one. Now, those games do have a much beloved, or a fan base, and they have a solid fan base, and they are much beloved. Stop looking at my words. But at the same time, you know, they're a little bit, well, let's just say that they're not for everyone, right? Personally, it's not something that appeals to me greatly. So, with that said, this seems to be kind of like the game for the other camp, I suppose, of single-player inverse horror games, and whilst, again, I wouldn't really call this horror, or you know, a game about exactly being a monster and killing people, it certainly is a good part of it. This is more a puzzle game, and you know, trying to figure out what to do where and when. At the same time, though, there does seem to be quite a few elements of a little bit of everything, I suppose you would call it. So, anyways, considering this led us here, I'm assuming I need to go through. Possibly. Did I unlock anything? Maybe, maybe not. Alright, found it. Basically I need to backtrack and go to what is kind of the starting area-ish for the level, and then, you know, I got to breach through all of this. Okay, sorry about being stuck a little bit, but I've played the game this morning, and now I'm picking it back up, so I've sort of forgotten a little bit what kind of progress I've made. Yes, I've forgotten the progress in like a few hours. That's just, look, don't ask. Anyways, so it's really good. It's really fascinating. It's rare, and I definitely recommend it. As simple as that as it is. Now, I'm not going to spoil too much of the story and the levels and stuff like that, so I'm going to try and keep this a very brief video, but it is kind of what you see, with, as you can see, 2 more abilities that we have to unlock in the top right and bottom left corner. But other than that, also, we do have other stuff to unlock which are not necessarily abilities, such as passives, and also, furthermore, you do unlock, what are they called, like, I'm not sure what exactly, how to term them, but I guess alternative upgrades, because, as you can see, this, can't go through there, can I? No? Okay, I'll explain what I'm doing. before I unlock this force push thing, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to call it, I used to be able to spit webs. So, yeah, it's like I said, there's like alternative paths to all of this, and there's also, like, you can deposit biomass. Okay. Oh. Well, that's an interesting dynamic, because, yeah, see, I talked about the web thing that I can do. Yeah, now I can actually unlock progress. And then merge together. See, that is very cool. Yeah, like I said, it gets more complicated, there's more to it. But it is ultimately, feels like at least, more and more like a puzzle game than an actual game where you're just meant to, you know, go out and murder everyone, which I don't see as a negative thing, you know, quite the opposite. I see it as a very positive, positive feature to the game, because it's not just mindless fun, whilst you are going to be killing a lot of people and you know, dealing with security forces and scientists and stuff like that. You also do need to... God damn it! You... alright, I guess that's okay. Just die. Die, please, both of you, thank you. Okay, lovely. And I suppose I need to deposit my biomass here as well in order to progress forward, no? I suppose it might just be a combat thing, because then I could spit through these and get them. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Right, hello! Oh, this is ever amusing. I did mention though that the game does have certain bits where you get to play as the humans. You don't get to go hunting around for what is essentially yourself, but you do get to like interact with different things, and you do get a little bit of lore behind what's going on through the human segments. Now, the best thing about those human segments is that they don't overstay their welcome. And I really was, like, a little bit worried that they would. Because, you know, it's not exactly uncommon for a game... Did I screw this up? Probably. It wasn't supposed to go here, eh? No, really wasn't supposed to go in here. Can I go... No, can't go back up. Alright, we're going the long way around again. But anyways, yeah, like I said, you really don't get a feeling that they've overstayed their welcome, and... that's great, because they provide, I think, what is a much-needed break from all the action, and, you know, maybe if I focused a little bit on what I was supposed to do, and not just wander around aimlessly, maybe I could even show you one such segment, but until I unlock it, I suppose, no such luck. Now, am I supposed to go this way, or... the exit indicator's that way. I'll assume the level is not going to lie to me. And I'll follow the exit. Like so. I think. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Ah, see, 100% and containment destroyed and everything. We have supposedly unlocked ways to progress, though I don't think it's this way. Can we see the... ah, okay. And that way, good, good. Now, I've been here already, but I think up here I can now go and do stuff now. I was trying to get through here. Has this changed? No. Have I gotten the ability to manipulate this in any way, shape, or form? Not yet. Alright. Huh. Well then, that is amusing. Right, tell you what, I'm going to save here. And, found it! Oh god, that's loud. Alright, so I apologize for like cutting it in and out of a video like this, but I think I'm doing everyone a favor because I'm cutting out all the backtracking and the boring bits of me trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. So I'm just showing you the more action-packed stuff, and it's honestly it's mainly because I'm stupid and I've forgotten, you know, some of the basic things the game taught me this morning. So yeah. Anyways, let's get back into this, and I'll show you a little bit more about of the gameplay, so you can you can decide for yourselves whether something like this interests you or not. Was I supposed to do that? I reckon I was supposed to do that. All right. Leave some of our biomass there, and yes. Now, I'm assuming this... right. Right. Okay. Let's go this way, then. That's interesting. How am I gonna fit there and do that? Also, what does that do? Uh-oh. I have a plan. It's not a great plan, but I have it, and it's mine. Oh, I can't kill it, can I? Crap. Okay, I've got it in a... That doesn't help. Okay. Yeah, I reckon I wasn't supposed to do that. So we're sure I can't kill it, right? That's what I was supposed to do. Okay. Fair enough. So, the one thing that I don't like about the game, my single criticism, I like the graphics of it, which I'm usually not a fan of, not the biggest fan of pixely graphics. I like the, ooh, finally, yeah, okay, this is the human segment. You have to show you one of those as well. So I like pretty much every aspect of the game. The only thing that I'm really not the greatest fan of is the distinction between the foreground and the background. Sometimes is a little bit problematic, right? Sometimes it's difficult to distinguish between background and foreground, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Sometimes it's not a problem, but occasionally you'll be like, okay, so can I spit my web through this, or can I not? And like, what's the difference between this metal barricade and the one, you know, from a couple of minutes ago? So yeah, essentially it's situations like that. But here you can see one of the human segments, and you get to go around exploring, you know, basically examining different things and opening up opening up ways for your team to go through. Now, I'm not sure whether you're actually whether the monster is actually controlling this scientist and using it, or using him rather, sorry, or whether it's something else. But yeah, be that as it may, there is segments like this where you also get to do puzzles, but it's more so, at least that's the feeling that I get, it's more about the lore and the I guess the backstory of exactly what's going on here. So, see, this is, yeah, this lever is missing a rod, fair enough. Reckon I'm supposed to find it somewhere, probably. Now, these are obviously a lot more simple because you have a lot less, well, you have a lot less abilities, right? Or fewer abilities as a human. There's only so much you can do. So I guess I can drop down. Oh, I thought that would kill me, but no, apparently. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. What also has piqued my interest about these segments is this like after or before or like during the previous segment, you know, but I guess I'll leave that for you to find out. Tell you what though, I think I'm going to cut the video here. I've shown you quite a little bit of the game. You have different abilities, different things you can do. There's different, ooh, this is interesting. Wow, strong scientist, okay. Different abilities, different things you can do, different objectives, like, you know, just straight up murder, and a lot of puzzle solving. What I was, well, it's not maybe necessarily fair to call it puzzle solving, but yeah, you get the point. And I definitely recommend the game. It is developed by Phobia Game Studio, published by Devolver Digital, and it is €20 at the time of recording on Steam, which I think is $20 because Steam is incredibly weird and believes euros and dollars are the same thing, which is why Europeans are getting a horrible deal out of it, but hey, less complaining, I suppose. So yeah, anyways, it depends on the region, it depends on the game sometimes as well, but anyways. Oh, look at that, I found me, if that makes sense. Do I touch it and collect samples? I guess. Alright. I get the feeling that these are flashbacks to, like, before I was captured and imprisoned in this lab, or what have you, rather. Anywho. We'll get to that in a bit. And, oh, look at this. We're now a tiny little adorable blob because we've lost all our HP. Isn't that nice? Well, no it isn't, but, you know. You know what I mean. Anywho. There you go, that's the game. It is a bit pricey. €20 for a game like this can put some people off. So if price is a problem, then I would definitely recommend waiting for the game to go on sale. And when it does go on sale, you know, picking it up then, because it's definitely very, very fun and something I would totally recommend. Just straight up eating and killing people is fun. The puzzles are mostly fun to do. Sometimes you get a little bit lost, but you know. I'm notoriously horrible at puzzles as well, so maybe it's just more of a me problem than for other people. Anywho, there you go. As we nom on a few more scientists and get our strength back and continue through the levels, I'll definitely be playing more of this, and I hope you give it a shot too. That's about it. If you have any questions about the game, want to ask me down in the comments below. Like I said, this is, I'm not sure how long the game is, but it's kind of mid-game-ish, I reckon, because I've, well, I believe I've unlocked most of the things that the game has to show you, so now it's just a matter of execution more so than introducing new mechanics, though it does that fairly regularly as well as you progress. It never a dull moment, basically. The movement is really, really impressive to me. You get to move extraordinarily quickly through these levels, as you can see. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video, and want to stay tuned for the rest of the content that I produce on the channel. Until next time, have fun, take care, pick this game up if you think you might be interested in something like this, because it's really, really fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.